Welcome back to Stooge Stream. I am your host, the Stooge. This is the New Japan recap show. We're looking at the New Japan 45th anniversary, night 2 from the 7th of March 2017. And I'm joined as always by my co-host, the one and only Knockout Fiona.
Welcome back for another episode of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm so excited. Like I said, we're quite new to the New Japan bandwagon, and it is a very exciting and energizing one to be a part of or to be jumped on.
It is. Being fans of Impact Wrestling and New Japan, like, this is a great time to be a fan of wrestling. There is some real great professional wrestling out there that isn't WWE product.
Yeah, well, professional wrestling, not sports entertainment. We will continue to qualify that, yeah.
So this was a showcase for the upcoming New Japan Cup, which is the 16-man round-robin tournament that determines somebody can challenge for whatever title they want, the winner, I should say.
Yes, it's a very elaborate, elongated number one contender.
Yeah, tournament.
Yeah.
But it's very cool because it's like a real sports
Bit
tournament.
of money in the bank. Yeah, it is.
So between tonight and then, they had to showcase the upcoming matches, and that led us to match number 1.
Yes, this card as well was also, I guess, a bit of a follow-on from night 1 of their 45th anniversary show. That was more of I think, a wrap-up of storylines and continuing beefs and things. Yeah. Whereas this really was like, these two guys are going to be squaring off in the upcoming tournament, even though they continue to have their multiple man tag team matches. Yeah. Clearly the card is very stacked in New Japan.
It was, and the first match of the night was a 4-on-4 tag team match.
Yeah, we're getting to know all the players slowly. I'm writing down little notes for them all as we go. So we had David Finlay, who we've met before. He's the son of Fit Finlay.
Yep.
Or Finlay, sorry. Manabu Nakanishi, Taguchi, and Kawato.
On team 1 versus team 2 of
Hiroyushi Tenzan. I might just say their surnames because it's just easier, and that's what they're referred to as. Kojima, Jushin Thunder Liger, and Oka. So Kawato on the face team, I guess, or it's hard to tell because is Jushin Thunder Liger meant to be like
he's always a face.
Yeah. So you've got Kawato on one team and Oka on the other, and they are the young 20-somethings, the young lions they're called.
Yeah.
So they wear very basic ring gear. They wear the black trunks and the tiny little black boots.
That's all they're allowed to wear.
And they're only allowed to do certain movesets as well. So it's a bit of a proving ground thing, and you're learning and mentoring. So it's the way they structure it in New Japan. So that was quite interesting.
Yeah, so it was quite cool to see three well-developed wrestlers plus one junior on each team facing off. So you had these interesting matches of the junior versus a junior, the legend versus a legend. You know, the up-and-comer being Dave Finlay as well versus, I believe, Kojima is the up-and-comer. No. Yes, on the other team. So
no, Kojima and Tenzan are the tag team champions. So they actually became 6-time tag team champions the night before. Yeah.
But you had some interesting mixes of styles and stories and experience in this first match.
Yeah, it was a pretty standard opening match, I felt like. I mean, considering you've got the tag team champions added into the mix with another group, they weren't going to have another title shot or anything. It was just sort of a cruising night. Yeah, following on from the big one last night, I guess. Yeah. I don't know, anything else you wanted to add about it? I thought it was funny, Kawato was a little shit and attacked Jushin Thunder Liger straight off the bat.
Straight off the bat to try and prove himself,
which didn't end very well for himself.
No, of course not. It's Liger. It's never going to end well for you.
Oka, the young guy on Jushin Thunder Liger's team, took the fall. He submitted to Nakanishi in a torture rack submission
hold. Yeah. So that was a good opening match and kind of set the pace for the night, knowing that all the matches are going to be tag team matches of some variation.
Yeah.
In the second match, we had Nagata, Juice Robinson, and Michael Elgin versus Takahashi, Loa or Tangaloa, I should say.
It's
and
Tangaroa.
Roa,
But
okay.
the Japanese have a thing with L and R's where they actually say them the other way around. Yeah. So people might actually just write it as Loa. But his official name is Tangaroa.
Tangaroa and Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah, they do take the piss out of that a lot in various, like, pop culture. The Japanese, anyway.
Well, Tangaroa and Bad Luck Fale, of course, we've seen before being part of Bullet Club.
Yes.
Takahashi we have seen before, but it was news to me that he's the only Japanese member of Bullet Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a gaijin club.
So he is like really turned his back on on the guys in the locker room. He has joined with the whiteys. I shouldn't say that. Again, this was another square-off showcase match. Fale and Elgin are meeting in the cup. They are the two big powerhouse heavyweights.
Beefy,
possibly
thick
two
guys.
of the biggest in New Japan for what we've seen so far.
Yeah, they're massive units.
Yeah. Juice Robinson and Takahashi and Nagata and Roa are
facing off in the New Japan Cup. So this was an interesting story of the three faces versus Bullet Club, of course. I like the opening of Bad Luck Fale just coming in and throwing the ring announcer down before he even had a chance to say his name.
Well, bad luck.
Yeah. But it kind of shows that, like, he's the big bruiser, meathead, giant.
Yeah.
That's there to hurt people. Michael Elgin was seen previously in Ring of Honor. He's a great wrestler and a powerhouse as well. So I wanted to see them face off. And when we did see it in the match, it was a story of power versus power. Even though Bad Luck Fale is a little bit taller, Michael Elgin maybe is a bit thicker. I don't know. They kind of
I don't know. Who are we to comment?
It was a great matchup though, watching them square off in a powerhouse.
Yeah,
showcase.
I liked this match. It was a bit more of a slower paced showcase for the 3-on-3 upcoming. Really like setting the scene for what's to come. Less frenetic than the opening match. Yeah. I think. Yeah, that was a bit hectic. A good display of what these guys can do and how they're gonna meet.
And I'm looking forward to the New Japan Cup to see the one-on-one matches.
Yes, that will be a nice change. Yeah.
But no, this is a great showcase though for them, and I thought coming out of this, Juice Robinson looked fantastic.
Yeah, look, he seems to really found his mark in New Japan from what we can see.
Yeah.
Who knows what the real story is, but I really like the way they integrate with the the foreign players coming into the company. It seems like it just works really well. Like, I don't know, they're just all part of the roster. They're not special or made a big deal of. I don't know, like.
Yeah, it's good. It actually works well.
Yeah. Nagata did get the win with a belly-to-belly suplex on Roa in the end. Yeah.
Which is good because Bullet Club, unlike the NWO that they're based on, don't win every match.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing. And Nagata seems really over. He's, I think, known as Blue Justice. He wears the blue trunks. Yeah. Yeah,
and it's almost like a superhero manga character.
Yes.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the match. All right, so next up we had
another faction of New Japan. Clearly, if you are not in a group in New Japan, you're on the outside and you're a Nigel no friends.
Yeah.
And you're a nobody. So this group is headed up by none other than Minoru Suzuki, and they're called Suzuki Gun. And the newest member as of the previous night of the 45th anniversary show was introduced as Jack Sabre Jr., one of our favourites from the British and international indie scene.
Absolutely amazing wrestler that does things with his body that just shouldn't be possible. But he's part of Suzuki Gun now!
Yeah, so he is a massive heel in New Japan. I don't know, like, Suzuki Gun... I would be scared to join that because, like, if you dishonor them, will, like, Suzuki hunt you down and, like, chop you into little pieces?
More than likely.
Like, full-on Yakuza style.
So he was joined by El Desperado, Tai Chi, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, there you go. You can tell her mother was a Japanese teacher. And they faced off against Jado, Trent Beretta, and Hiroki Gato.
Oh, Gedo. Yeah.
Okay.
So Goto, Jado, Gedo, Beretta. Yeah. And those guys represent chaos. Yeah.
Which Will Ospreay is a part of, speaking of UK international wrestlers. Just want to throw that out there.
So Goto Goto and Jado. One of the three, I can't remember who I read now. They're co-head bookers of New Japan, so like they're obviously been around the traps for a while. Goto is like the last real man. We met him last time.
Yep.
He's very like powerful, fit, like looks like an old school like. You know, he could be a wrestler in like the 1900s.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's got that sort of like gentlemanly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Trent Beretta, who has been around the world a billion times. If you haven't heard of him before, he did have a run in WWE at one point, but he is a fantastic competitor as well, and quite tall. Even though he's lean, he's very tall and aggressive, and has a very particular style that I like.
Yeah, again, this was a real mix of styles, this matchup. Jack Sabre Jr., I didn't think like he could have been the real showcase, but he didn't have that much in-ring action, I felt, which was okay. He probably had a big night last night. He'd faced off Shibata, one of the other big names.
Big crazy bastard, yeah.
And him turning into or joining Suzuki Gun was big news unto itself. And he also called out Goto last night, apparently, so they had a bit of a square off in this match. So
yeah, I thought their part of the match was actually one of the most interesting parts of the match as well. Even though the whole match worked quite well and was a lot of fun, and the Suzuki Gun team are vicious.
Yeah, they really dominated. Geto has quite a big beard. I remember them throwing around him by his beard at one point. Tai Chi has really bad dyed hair, so he's got like this blondie bit. And he looks like, he carries around a mic stand.
Yeah.
So, Michael Stando. I don't know if he's meant to be like some sort of like rock star character, but he's a really vicious heel and really leans into the heelish antics.
Yeah.
He likes to get the ring hammer. Clearly that's his thing.
And smash people with it.
Yeah.
In the two outings I've seen of him, he doesn't do a lot, but what he does so well.
Yeah.
That the crowd just loves him, and I can see why.
The crowd love their like heels in New Japan, it seems. Me too. I actually have already developed with a soft spot for him. He's really like owned his character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in this match, Suzuki Gun, or the team of Suzuki Gun, take the win over Chaos.
Yeah, so Jack Sabre Jr. did get the win after not having a lot of in-ring action, like I said. He got his fancy submission, it's a European clutch, they call it, but it's just his weird, like, wraparound thing. It looks like he's just...
It's a Gumby submission.
Yeah.
Let's call it
He got that on Goto, which after he'd called out Goto, so that was an interesting little, like, development there.
And we'll see how that progresses forward in the New Japan Cup.
Next up, my favorite match, I want to say.
I'm actually going to give this match of the night myself.
Match of the night. So we had the leader of Suzuki Gun, Minoru Suzuki himself. He came out with Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah, the son of the original British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Another really big, tall, like European import. Yeah. God, he stands out. He is a powerhouse of a human being. And Taka Michinoku.
So they were in a match against...
So Shibata, who is the really intense, technical, like...
hard-hitting master. He's actually my favourite person in Japan.
I think so. Oh, I have a soft spot for Sonata because he's really hot.
I know you do. We'll get to him.
So in Shibata's team... he faced off with Tiger Mask 4 and is it Toji? Toji Makabe. Makabe has really like he looks like he's almost got a bit of like Islander or African or something mixed in with him. Like I don't know. Like
I was saying he's rural Japanese, the darker skinned.
Yeah,
Japanese.
He's got sort of this curly hair that like I don't know. He seems like I don't want to say like a gorilla, but he kind of does. There's something about him, and like
I
his name Makabe makes me think of like that type of.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, I can see that.
He's a 20-year veteran, mind you, so he knows.
He's been around the block, yeah. Now the story of this match, of course, was Shibata versus Minoru Suzuki. That's coming up in the New Japan Cup. Shibata and Suzuki, they don't pull their punches.
No,
and we've seen this spot twice now where they just do standing elbows to each other. And it is just vicious.
They Look, the rest of the guys, I think, did the best they could, but Suzuki and Shibata just dominate the show.
The match.
Yeah, they do.
There was one point that I love Minoru Suzuki as well. I think he's a great character.
He scares me.
He does. So Taka was actually tapping in on Minoru Suzuki, and he just ignored him and went straight back for Shibata in the middle of the ring. Like, ignored the tag in.
Yeah.
That was great. Davey Boy Smith Jr. is an amazing talent as well. He is, like, I'm not afraid to say it, even as a man. That dude's a stud. He's like 6'6",
6'6",
cut as all hell, and just has that look. Like, he's got those intense blue eyes like his father had.
Yeah.
The short blonde hair, but aside from that, like, he is a talent in that ring and a powerhouse as well. So I was very impressed with him. Every incarnation of Tiger Mask is one of the best wrestlers on the roster at all times ever. So if it's Tiger Mask 4, if it's Tiger Mask W, if it's Tiger Mask V, it makes no difference. You get a Tiger Mask in a match, you're going to get something cool in there, and we definitely saw that as well. The one person I really didn't know anything about was Taka, and I was quite impressed with his showing as well. And Togi was somebody I was not really familiar with either, but
Makabe.
Makabe, they had, I was really impressed. But again, Shibata and Suzuki stole this match from everyone else, and it was just this vicious. It went shoot at points. Like, they were just hitting each other.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. It's like a car crash. You really want to watch and you want to see what's going on. You can't really, like, it hurts to watch at the same time.
Yeah.
No, you're right about Taka. We don't know too much about him, but I mean, being on Suzuki Gun, you really do have to step it up, or else, there is fear of death when you get back to the locker room.
Yeah.
Let's face it. Yeah, Davey Boy Smith used his size just throwing Tiger Mask around like he was like a little rag.
A toy.
Yeah. No, the guys, I think the other four really did their best to, distract from the Suzuki Shibata showdown. But inevitably, like, it did break down at one point, and they were, I think, out of the ring and all sorts of things going on.
Minoru Suzuki hits Shibata with a chair after he just throws some poor little girl out of her chair in the audience.
Was that this match or the other one?
I'm pretty sure it was this one.
God, I don't know. They all blending.
But yeah, it was absolutely vicious and violent, and I really enjoyed. I thought this was, again, match of the night.
Yeah,
just down to Shibata and Suzuki, and it's made me really excited to see them square off in the upcoming cup.
Well, Makabe, he picked up the win for the Shibata's team. However, I'm going to say Shibata because, let's face it, he's the leader. With what is called his King Kong knee drop on Taka.
Yeah, and it is a massive knee. It was huge, jumping from the top rope. It looked like he jumped 20 feet. Like, it was just massive. He clearly didn't. I'm exaggerating, but just that's the way it looked. Like, the King Kong knee drop is definitely an appropriate name for that move.
Oh yes, when you were saying about Suzuki throwing the chick out of her seat, he hit the one of the young lion ring dudes with it. Yeah, like, he's just a psycho.
His psycho is great.
They continue to punch on after, like, the ring bell went, and I think they were, like, punching on backstage and stuff. Yeah. Like.
So again, another great, really hard hitting match that's well worth seeing. Next up we had
another big import name, Kenny Omega and Tamatonga repping Bullet Club versus Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. Yes, repping Chaos. So Omega, we know. Tamatonga, we know, has come out with Kenny before. He's obviously tag teams with Tangaroa.
Yeah.
So Ishii is a no-nonsense powerhouse, I've written here, and Yano is the comic relief. Kind of doesn't really do any offensive wrestling moves, just happens to bumble his way through.
He reminds me so much of a Japanese Mikey Whipwreck. Like, he just keeps dodging and being in the right place at the right and just getting out of the way, and he really has no offensive moves whatsoever. We have seen these guys, I believe, once each before, but really don't know a huge amount. But Ishii is definitely, as you said, the powerhouse. and Yano is definitely the comic relief character. I believe we're going to see Kenny Omega and Ishii in the upcoming New Japan Cup, so that should be quite interesting because again their styles are very different, with Kenny Omega being more of to compare it to TNA and X Division, or Impact Wrestling I should say, an X Division wrestler, and Ishii being more of a heavyweight powerhouse style wrestler. It should be an interesting one-on-one face-up.
Kenny Omega just gives off the impression that he just does whatever he wants. So if he feels like dropping a move, he will. If he feels like just being a goofball, then he'll goof off.
Yeah.
It's like they've probably like the officials have probably like told him backstage, okay, you need to go and wrestle now. He's like, yep, we'll see. We'll see what I feel like when I get there. Like I don't know if he just has like free reign or if that's his character, or if that's just
I think
him.
it's his character, and I also think he's a guy that's just having the time of his life.
Yeah.
Like he's just enjoying himself out there, and
he's been around the indies for a while.
Yeah,
like,
quite a while.
He's in his early 30s.
But he's just having a great time, enjoying himself, having fun being part of and the head of Bullet Club.
That's right. He is the leader of Bullet Club. Let's not forget that. Yeah. Omega, him and Tonga were quick to pick on Yano. Obviously, he's a target. So as soon as the bell rung, they sort of jumped on him, which was inevitable. They got him outside the ring at one point, and he grabbed a bucket, and Omega had... Omega. Let's just say Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny had put it on Yano's head and was like drumming on it and stuff. The crowd were loving it.
And he was selling the plastic bucket. Oh, it was brilliant. Yano's so funny. Yeah. I was loving that. He literally sold the plastic bucket.
Look, I can see why people would get frustrated with like that sort of character, but it works well. I think they go overboard with it. And he does pull off some like fancy moves. Like he can wrestle. It's just the bit he's doing at the moment. Yeah.
This is another match that I actually enjoyed. This was more of a comedy match with some good wrestling thrown in the middle of it. It was a kind of halfway through the card. Let's just take a breather.
Yeah.
Because we know we've just seen two men brutalize each other in Minoru Suzuki and Shibata. So they're like, well, let's have a bit of comedy now. Let the crowd relax a little bit. And that's pretty much what this was. And a well-built card will have a match like this in there somewhere just to give the crowd a bit of relief and let them have a laugh and have some fun. And Kenny Omega, Tama Tonga, Ishii and Yano were definitely the right choices in this spot. And they had a great time out there, and you can see it. Like, the dude sold a plastic fucking bucket. Yeah. Like, they were having fun.
Well, Yano did take the pin, which is not really surprising out of that matchup.
Yeah.
Tonga got a massive jumping cutter on him. Yeah.
Which very reminiscent of the RKO.
Yeah.
This is Bullet Club having the win for the night because they can't just lose them all.
Yes, exactly. It's a good little like mix-up, isn't it?
Yeah. So next up, we had just a normal 2-on-2 tag team match, which is actually quite rare. You don't just see normal tag team matches a lot, like unless it's for a title or something. So I was kind of really looking forward to this because it's just a flat tag team match.
Yes, but this is where it gets confusing because we had the showdown between Tanahashi and Takahashi. So stick with us. Takahashi is the heel. Tanahashi is the face.
Yeah. So Takahashi was joined by Evil.
Yes, and Takahashi is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion at the moment.
Yeah. Now, what's their group called?
Oh God, what group are they in? Oh no,
they have to be in a group. And Tanahashi was joined by Kushida.
Yeah. So we know Evil. Evil seems quite over. Again, heels. Clearly, if you lean in and commit to your character, you will get over with the New Japan crowd.
So what I've noticed, and I'm not sure if you've picked this up or you probably have, even subconsciously, over the shows that we've watched, is all the heels tend to be quite elaborate in their costumes and outfits. And like Evil comes out with a scythe and an actual face mask and a full outfit, whereas the faces are usually quite plain. Like they've just got their trunks and they're like, they don't come out with huge elaborate get-ups. And you could see that in this match. Tanahashi and Kushida are just two guys basically. And the other two were the evil heels in their full get-up.
Kushida, I think they said at one point, is the number one contender for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So it was a good little showdown between those two. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's weird coming to like just a 2-on-2 tag match after all the big matches.
It was kind of a change in pace, but this was a very fast match as well.
Yeah.
It was quite energetic. There was a lot happening, and because there was only 4 people in the match rather than 8, they could really showcase their skills a lot. Kushida's one that I didn't know a whole lot about, but I'm quite interested in seeing more of. He put on a really, really great show. The Takahashi guys, enjoyed both of them, and I like the actual getup that Evil has. Like, his whole character and gimmick is quite interesting, and all of them wrestled really well. There wasn't a moment in this match where the pace slowed down at all. Like, this was just a really well built wrestling match from beginning to end.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys square off in the cup. Like, all of them. Yeah, I don't know. I still think the match before was match of the night, but it was nice to have, like, a showing. But it is a bit confusing trying to learn Tanahashi. We'll get there, though.
So Kushida and Tanahashi take the win, with Kushida hitting a backside jackknife pin combo.
It was like a roll-up thing. Like it was almost like acrobats when they do those rolly things on the mat together.
Yeah.
And throw each other. Yeah.
It was quite an interesting move, actually.
Kushida's,
I really liked it.
Like, he would be like quintessential like X Division. Like, he looks like a young, fit MMA fighter type dude. Yeah, like.
What I think I also
lightweight.
liked about the match as well is nobody looked out of place in this match.
Yeah.
Everybody was at the same skill level and really showcasing themselves.
Yeah, Kushida's definitely another standout and like up and coming one to watch, I reckon. Yeah.
So
he will go far.
That brings us to the final match of the card in our main event, which is a 3-on-3 tag team match, which sees the 2 other fractions that we haven't really seen a huge amount of on the show face off against each other with Chaos.
Yes, so Chaos, we had Rocky Romero, Yoshi-Hashi, definitely the best name in New Japan. Yoshi-Hashi!
And Okada.
Yep.
Versus,
okay, I'm going to try and get this. Los Ignobles de Japonier. Okay, no, that was really bad. I really need to learn Spanish.
Okay, or better known as Naito, Sanada, and Bushi.
So I looked this up because I was like, where has this come from? Why are there these like Japanese like luchas and they're not actually any Mexicans, and what is going on? So Los Ingobernables means the ungovernable ones. So the ones
Japan.
Yes. So this started in CMLL, and New Japan and CMLL have a working relationship. So they brought it over via Naito.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. Cool. So Naito is some champion, but I missed what champion he is, unfortunately. And they were dissing him because he just totally like throws the championship belt around, and that's his whole get up. There you go. Yeah. And they're like, a champion should like respect the belt, and that's his whole shtick. He just like whatever. Bushi wears a lucha mask, and Sanada is Cold Skull and has committed entirely with that hair.
Yeah.
The dyed grey hair that stands about a foot above his head.
And Naito has the worst 80s mullet of all time.
Well, I don't know. There's a few worse 80s mullets.
Oh, no. Naito wins that one.
Yeah.
But as you said, what I thought was he actually looks quite good. But I like when he put his hat on, you were like, he looks like Japanese Wayne from Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Like he does, actually, when he's got his hat on.
Quite disturbing.
Party on.
Okada is very tall. I think he might have like some mixed genes in him somewhere, and he's got like that sort of like more mixed Eurasian looking face, if I can say that, maybe.
Possibly, kind of.
And he's got dyed blonde hair, so he looks like a real pretty boy, and he's the rainmaker.
Yeah.
So, he makes it rain when he gets in. So yeah, slowly learning the distinction.
Are you going to go through the other guys? Yoshi-Hashi, what does he look
Yoshi-Hashi also has a really bad 80s mullet.
Yeah, he does.
Dyed blonde. Apparently, the commentators were saying like he's improved dramatically over the past year. So I don't know if he's like relatively new or just under someone's tutelage, but he's pretty over. He's pretty like, I don't know, he's not standout or anything apart from his awesome name.
Yeah, and Rocky Romero is your Kashin Gaijin.
Okay. Fair enough. I don't know, this might also be like close match of the night.
It was.
This
is definitely the second match of, if I had to put them in order, this would be number 2 on the card of the best matches, definitely. We're fans of Sanada from previous incarnations of his life, but he was really really good in this. Not only that, Rocky Romero, somebody that I really have not seen him much, really haven't heard too much about. I'm not really familiar with him. Became an instant fan of that guy.
Rocky and Sonata had a really good showing. Sonata was kind of desperate to get the pin on him, and Rocky just wouldn't
kept countering. And that was a great little counter segment. Naito, of course, is a huge heel over there, and did a fantastic job of being the bad guy to Okada.
Okada and Naito, I assume, are going to meet in the card. I think in the cup.
Very possibly. And Bushi and Yoshi-Hashi had their own little thing going as well when Bushi did the suicide dive through the ropes.
Look, I think it was hard for Bushi and Yoshi-Hashi because they were and Rocky Romero. I think they were overshadowed by like Naito, Sonata, and Okada. They really are the standouts. But
they were, but I still liked like Bushi doing that suicide dive and keeping Yoshi-Hashi out of the ring while Sonata and Rocky Romero were doing their little bits. Naito and Okada obviously have something going on, and that became its own little story in the match. It's just interesting how these matches are built, where you can have 2 or 3 stories running at once in the matches. The story of Sonata and Rocky, Naito and Okada, Yoshi-Hashi and Bushi, and this will lead off to storylines going forward. But at the same time, there's this overall story of this team versus that team as well.
Some matches I find are really well set up and really well paced and have a lot more energy than others. Like they're, I don't know, we're learning more and more about it as we go.
This was a fast-paced, super great technical as well as spectacle match. It had its spectacle moments, it had its technical moments, and everyone came out looking good.
Look, I think Sonata looked the best despite Naito being the champion. Sonata did pick up the win too. He eventually landed his Dragon Sleeper sort of backwards choker on
which is
Rocky
called
Romero.
The Skull End.
The Skull End, right.
But I think in saying that, definitely Sonata was the guy that came out looking the best out of this match. But in saying that, I think Rocky Romero was definitely close on his heels with that little counter segment that they had. It's definitely an angle that you can explore going forward. And no one came out looking bad in this match, but just Sonata and I think Rocky Romero came out looking the best.
Yeah, it was definitely a very good main event for a 3-on-3 tag team. Yeah, it was a good way to end the show.
It was, and having the heels win as well. It's a good way of going into the cup. Like, give the faces the underdog status, give the heels the ultimate win at the end of the show.
Yeah, definitely.
So all in all, I really enjoyed this. This was night 2 of the 45th anniversary. We haven't even gotten around to watching night 1 yet, and there's so much content on New Japan that it's hard to keep up with everything, but I really enjoyed this show. It went for about 2.5 hours, and I think it's really worth investing in.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, 3-on-3 tag team matchups is probably like if you have to like throw multiple men together, can we keep it to 3? Do we have to have like 4, 5, 6?
It's a Japanese thing. You'll get used to it. I kind of when they're done well, they're really, really good.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're done really well, and you're like, hey, that was a 5-on-5, and it was a brilliant match that had some great spots in it.
It's just different. But I love the absolute staple of those multi-man tag teams that at one point someone has to be in the corner and each of the opposing team is going to run from the opposite corner and have a little like shot.
Move,
It's like obligatory.
Yeah, it is in a Japanese tag match.
Signature calling card,
So I'm really enjoying getting into New Japan. Looking forward to watching the New Japan Cup this year for the first time. It should be an interesting showcase of some people that we know, some people we don't know. And ultimately, we're going to find out who the number 1 contender is to whatever title they want to take a shot at.
Some new friends. Yeah, learning them.
Yeah.
It's very good. And like I said last time, we watched this on New Japan World on their monthly subscription service.
Yeah, which is easy to translate into English, so you have no excuse.
Yeah.
Until next time, I've been your host, the Stooge.
I've been the Knockout Fiona.
And don't forget, adventure, excitement. Stooge craves not these things.
Welcome to the Stooge Revolution.